compress the air up higher. Okay? What you do, you're
what
not
am I
getting
doing?
your compression in your breath. That's why I've got you bend down, so the air will compress up higher.
Oh, I see.
Well, with it, so you keep the sound supported.
Well, David seems to be taking time out during 6:55 tonight for having a singing lesson. Actually, he does have lots of singing lessons in Los Angeles, and his voice coach is Ron Anderson. Well, Ron suddenly decided to pay David a surprise visit, just to see how his lad was getting along. We're going to be talking about the voice tonight, and also welcoming Suzanne Murphy, the opera singer from the Welsh National Opera. She's the soprano there. But meanwhile, back to the lesson.
Right at the top of the palate.
That's right, and it should be up in the mask area a little bit also, besides the palate. All right, let me hear just the last phrase in the song. All right?
Rösslein, oh, wait a second.
Right there.
Rösslein, 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 roll.
Give me just a little more towards that ooh.
Rösslein, roll.
There you are.
I see.
Okay, once more.
Rösslein, 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 roll.
Good. All right. Now keep the spin into the same way. All right. Keep the height in the bottom note.
Rösslein.
Okay.
Rösslein, 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 roll.
Much nicer.
I know you want a dancing lesson, right?
Oh, what are you doing, David?
Well, this is
Hello, I'd like to meet you.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
And
You're learning something here, I gather.
yeah,
Yes.
actually, Ron has been working with me for several months now, and we met actually just as I was preparing to go out on my last concert tour. And every time I go out on tour, I end up losing my voice. And so I figured rather than to try to pump more cortisone into my throat or put medicines or whatever else that you psychologically think you can fix your throat with, that maybe I should go to a voice doctor.
A voice doctor, yeah.
Ron was suggested, and we got together. Now I'm discovering that this incredible instrument called a voice has incredible kind of flexibility to it and can develop and grow and stuff like that.
Tremendously so.
Yeah.
It grows literally week by week. It changes all the time.
What's he like as a pupil?
David's not your
Tell the
typical
truth.
pupil.
He's not the typical
He's not your
pupil.
typical
Yeah,
pupil.
yeah.
David had a basically good technique when he started. He started before. So it was a matter of putting back everything into line. His resonances, his breath, and just getting to polish some things down.
Hey, David, you mentioned that Ron actually helped you out before the tour, and that you were worried about losing your voice. You did have a bit of a panic, actually, during the tour, didn't you, when you were down in Poole?
Right.
What actually happened?
Well, I'd gotten, as usual, a couple, I guess 2 weeks into the tour, and I lost my voice. And I found out that Ron had been in Scotland on a master's class up there, and he was in London at the time, and I called frantically around, found him. He said, "Where are you going to be?" I said, "Poole." He got on the train, went to Poole. About 20 minutes before the show, came in, took the place over, said, "Where's the room with the piano?" Went in there, laid me on a table, pounded on my stomach, got me doing all kinds of things, and got me to be able to perform.
Because that's incredible. You always think when people have lost their voice, they get the throat sprays, as you say, the injections. How do you actually do that then, Ron? What do you do? Is it exercise?
By tricking the mechanics of, it's an exercise, by tricking the mechanics of the larynx. Taking a lighter mechanism, which means actually singing an easier sound, but singing on a different part of the larynx than what he was singing on. He was singing in way too heavy a mechanism, and he was tired. The voice was actually tired.
Isn't it true that the more tired, the harder you've worked your voice, the more tired, the more you push to try to compensate for it, and sometimes it is a...
Yes, that's true. Psychologically, we always do that. We try to work the voice much harder than we should, especially the mid part of the voice. The middle voice, I think, in most singers, is overworked. We always try to sing it too heavy.
It's interesting about Ron. He works with a lot of
I heard
pop musicians.
Yes, and his nickname, the Voice Doctor. Yeah, you're called into many a recording studio, aren't you?
Yes, a lot. Sometimes at 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning, the phone will ring.
Yeah.
And asking me to come into the studio. Yes.
Can you get someone's voice back that fast?
Yes.
Just for exercise?
Yes.
You
Usually it takes me about anywhere between 20 minutes to an hour, depending on how bad it is.
But it's interesting because apart from being this sort of voice doctor person and doing all the training, you have a career yourself as an opera singer, don't you?
That's right. Yes, and it's very unusual that an opera singer works with rock people.
Well, it does sound a very strange thing. You're a baritone. No, you were a baritone.
I was a baritone,
moved up
yeah.
to tenor.
I moved up to a tenor register.
Yeah. So what sort of roles do you sing?
I sing your Wagnerian roles primarily, so I'm a Helden tenor, which is loud.
Very powerful.
Where does that word come from, Helden?
It's from the German word Helden, heroic. It's
Heroic.
the hero
I
of
see.
tenors.
And how would that differ from, say, another kind of tenor?
Well, there's not the lyricism in the voice. There's not the lyricness, the lightness in the top part of the voice, especially. It demands a tremendous amount of stamina, a tremendous amount of power, and the roles are usually very long, grueling roles, 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to do a performance for us tonight, aren't you?
Yes.
A long, grueling performance?
We've only got a few minutes. You ready to sit down a bit?
I'm going to be singing the Winterstürme from die Walküre, and it sings a little bit about love in the springtime. One of the lighter things.
Well, to help you out, we have Mr. James Walker, who's in his own right a soloist, a pianist, and the unsung hero of the singer.
Right, and also Diane to help turn the pages.
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll step over here and I'll criticize. Later.
Yes, give us his notes later.
Thank you, teacher. That was beautiful. Ron, I'd like to present to you a very special guest, Miss Suzanne Murphy from the Welsh National Opera. She has been the principal soprano with the Welsh National Opera for the past 6 years.
That's right.
Yes, and a lady of great talent. Suzanne has sung Elvira and E. Puritani. You'll have to forgive me, folks. I don't remember all this. So Violetta in La Traviata, and Costanza in Il Seraglio, and
Goodness me.
and other things. And we hope to persuade her to sing tonight too. But just in case she's too shy, I'm sure she might sing. But in case she's too shy, we do have for you right now a presentation of some of her earlier work. I'm sure you'll too.
The sunbeam goes, the darkened sky. I close my eyes, miss your eyes.
That was Suzanne Murphy, and that was a dirty trick, wasn't
Oh,
it?
you were very mean.
Well,
No.
I was put up to it, I must confess.
When you were a pop singer?
Yes. Well, it was folksy more than pop.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, that's a long time ago.
When was that?
1969, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
And then you moved out of that, what, in early 70s? Or?
In the early 70s, yes. I started singing lessons with Veronica Dunn in Dublin, where I was working, in 1973.
Had you had intentions to go into opera at that point?
No, not at all. I hadn't sung for about, the group broke up, I hadn't sung for about a year, and I'd been offered a television program and a radio program, just by coincidence. And I thought, well, I'd better get in touch with a singing teacher because I'd probably make a fool of myself. So I contacted this lady, and she very kindly took me on. And then she persuaded me to come and study every day with her while I was still doing secretarial work. And so I just got carried along with, with the work, and she's very enthusiastic, and she just drove me along, and I just got caught up in it.
Yeah.
And I just got into this business by accident.
It's wonderful to have people like that who
yes.
find one way to support you like that.
Yes.
Oh, yes, which is tremendous.
So much enthusiasm, too. Yeah.
Well, this is, I'm a pretty exciting guy here, aren't I? I had something there and it just went right out of my head. No, what was nice about this, to hear this, is that I guess the preconception of opera singers being real stuffy, you know, and to realize that why is that? Why do people feel that way?
I don't know. I think a lot of people are afraid to come to operas, and they're afraid of the operatic scene because they think, oh, no, they're singing in a foreign language, so I won't understand it. But I think nowadays, with so much opera coming into the homes on television, people are getting more used to it. And if you can persuade people to come to things like workshops or open rehearsals, or come to dress rehearsals, they see a lot more that goes on behind the scenes, which is really quite enjoyable.
You've actually changed, haven't you, from being a mezzo-soprano to soprano. Ron was saying he's changed from baritone to tenor. How hard is that, making that transition?
It was quite difficult to begin with because I wasn't confident that I could actually sing the notes. If I knew there was a high note coming in an aria or in a song, I would just die with nerves. But then my teacher worked with me so that she extended the range of my voice without my even knowing it. I mean, she would say, "No, you sing this," and she would play a scale, and I sang it. And gradually, the range of the voice was extended.
Is that what happened to you, Ron? Is that how it worked for you?
Well, in a way, yes, but in another way, I actually learned how to approach totally differently.
Yeah.
Because as a baritone, you're saying much heavier mechanism through the middle part of the voice and carried weight into that part. Yeah. And as a tenor, you don't carry so much weight. You can't to get into the high register. And so actually, it was almost like starting over again and relearning technique. In fact, I found a teacher here who finally made the transition for me complete.
You don't only work with singers, do you? We were talking earlier that you work with rock singers. You're actually just about to embark on a project with Cheryl Ladd, aren't you, as a dialogue coach?
My wife and I are dialogue coaching a film for ABC in the United States.
Explain how that works.
Yes, that's fascinating.
Well, what we do is we take the script apart and we break it down word by word and break it into the vowel sound of whose voice we are trying to copy or to assimilate. In this instance, it's Grace Kelly, yes. So it entails a tremendous amount of hours of studying and listening to Grace Kelly's voice and listening to how she phrases her words as well as handles pitch in the phrase. So that's how you do it. You gradually work it down, and then we work small exercises vocally, working on the breath so the voice doesn't tire. If sometimes we have to change the speaking sound up, sometimes we have to change it down.
How long will it take you working with Cheryl to get her into that voice?
About 2 weeks every day.
2 weeks, is that all? That's... I expect you to say several months.
We have done some pre-rehearsal on it already. Yeah. And we've got actually 3 hours or 4 hours in it so far. And she's very smart, very fast, has a tremendous ear. Cheryl was also a professional singer before she became an actress.
Yes.
So she has a tremendous ear already.
Yeah.
How many hours a day would that be then, working on just...
This will be probably 12 to 14 hours a day.
Do you still do voice lessons every day yourself, as you are, as I mentioned, opera singer?
You mean
for yourself? I know you take them. Do you actually...
do I give them? Yes, I do.
You attend them, I mean, you do all the exercise every day?
Yes.
That's very necessary, I should imagine.
Likewise, Suzanne, in terms of repertoire, because with an opera singer, they always have a repertoire because of the difficulty and the length and so forth. It's like learning an entire piece. Do you learn that because you want to, or do you have plans in the future to do something?
Well, usually things that are planned in the future. If there's a particularly difficult role coming up, like, for instance, when I did I Puritani, 2 years before I actually sang it, I took some time off from the company and I went away to Italy to study and work with a coach there, Maestro Campogalliani in Mantua.
Why do you have to go to Italy to do that?
Well, it's an Italian role. I had never had the opportunity of learning to speak Italian, although I'd sung quite a bit in Italian. And I really needed to go away and just live there for a while and get the sound in on my ears. And also to work with this man who was an elderly man and who had worked with... he'd worked at La Scala and with Toscanini, and so...
You do a whole song in that, don't you? Actually lying flat on your back on the stage. That must be not all. Delay on the stage and sing must be cause all kinds of problems.
Yes, but I mean, you don't... The floor isn't exactly flat. There's a little bit of a...
It's a hill.
A little bit of a hill, you know. And you practice. I mean, you get used to doing that in the production rehearsals. That's what the rehearsals are for. And so that actually, if I go to sing that particular piece now, I always feel I must lie down.
Well, don't lie down, because we want you to stand up and sing something for us now.
Now?
Yes, no, sorry about that.
If you like to lie, would you rather lie down?
Got any little number you could sort of...
a little number from Carmen, which is not really my repertoire, but I think people know it pretty well. It's Seguidilla from Carmen, but I think I'd need a page turner.
Oh, I would love...
Really?
I thought you'd never asked.
I thought you told me to ask.
Just want to make sure that you're comfortable here. And is this all right for you then?
It's lovely. Thank you.
All right. I'll be right over there.
Okay.
All right. You're fine?
Yes.
Okay. All right. James?
Are you ready?
Oh, yes. Thank you. We almost missed our cue there, James. Got so carried away with this. I almost forgot to turn the page.
I thought you'd do that. Are you not going to sing a song for us?
Oh, come on.
Yeah, come on, David.
Come on, David.
Sing a song.
Come on.
I can't follow. Well, James, what do you think? What do you think we ought to do?
The Schubert that we tried earlier.
Oh yes. Do a repertoire of my song.
I think I have... Is it?
Oh, yes.
So it is.
I don't know it by
in
heart.
German.
It's in German, yes.
You don't know by heart?
Just by soul, don't I?
Oh, God. You speak German as well?
Well, I learned German. I lived in Germany for 6 years.
Did you?
Yeah. You want to know more? I'll tell you more. She's so...
I heard that your mother was a singer as well.
Yeah, she was. She was a mezzo-soprano, and she sang all of Schubert's Lieder. So I grew up listening to Schubert and Schumann, and she'd be proud of me if she knew I was singing one of these tunes.
Oh. Well,
but
good luck.
Thank you. You won't be far, will you?
No.
Good, because don't...
You might need my help.
I might need it.
Should I turn the pages?
There's only one page.
All right.
But just wait for me over there, will you? She's so lovely. Oh, God. Okay. Za ein Knab, ein Rösslein stehen, Rösslein auf der Heide, war so jung und morgenschön, lief er schnell, es nah zu sehen, saß mit vielen Freuden. Rösslein, Rösslein, Rösslein rot, Rösslein auf der Heide. Knabe sprach, ich breche dich, Rösslein auf der Heide. Rösslein sprach, ich steche dich, dass du ewig denkst an mich, und ich will's nicht leiden. Rösslein, Rösslein, Rösslein rot, Rösslein auf der Heide. Und der wilde Knabe brach, Rösslein auf der Heide. Rösslein wehrte sich und sprach, half ihm doch kein Weg und Haar, muss es eben leiden. Rösslein, Rösslein, Rösslein rot, Rösslein auf der Heide.
Thank you.
Well, sadly, there's no time for me to sing my aria, so we'll have to say goodbye. And I'll see you on 6:55 on Monday. Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.